Welcome back, everybody, to the continuing series, The Moments That Define WrestleMania, and welcome to the 1990s. Scarematsu with you, once again wearing this shirt, obviously, not disguised well, but the reason I'm doing it, I'm going to be on spring break, I'm going to be out of town, basically my girlfriend's going to kidnap me, and I'm not going to be able to talk about WrestleMania day to day when I'm up there, so I'm just pre-taping a bunch of these segments and gonna save them, and I'm gonna at least upload them to YouTube when I'm away. I will be near a computer, and you're gonna see them. And I'll be wearing this outfit. I'll be wearing a different outfit. I'll be wearing Speedos. Actually, I won't. It's just kind of disgusting if you know me. But nonetheless, I'll be here throughout my spring break. So, and I'll be back on March 14th, back to my home. So we moved out of the 80s. Welcome to the 1990s. Actually, 1990, exactly the year I was born. WrestleMania VI, April 1st, 1990. About 5 weeks after I was born, actually. 5 or 6 weeks. From Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The first international WrestleMania in the Sky Dome, now known as the Rogers Center, which I'm going to be banned from saying Rogers Center pretty shortly, as I'm going to be in Canada for about a month, taking a vacation. First time in 5 years, but anyways. This was way better than the previous installment of WrestleMania in Atlantic City. This was also the end of an era for WWE and the beginning of a new one. Some people regard this as perhaps the end of the 1980s wrestling boom. In Toronto, and the celebration, and a very good WrestleMania that took place in Canada. Robert Goulet sang "Oh Canada." Current superstar Edge, if you do not know, but I think you do, attended this WrestleMania as a fan of Hulk Hogan in the main event, which I'll talk about in my top 3. Yeah, but this was a very much the end of one era and the beginning of another in WWE. Jesse the Body Ventura, he would leave the WWE. This was his last WrestleMania as host with Gorilla Monsoon. He left with a good note to the fans after the main event that he believed Hulkamania would live forever, and of course Hulkamania, obviously, he did a lot the first 5 years. I mean, he's Hulk Hogan. He will live forever. Yeah, but Jesse Ventura leaving WWE over the summer, a few months later. Andre the Giant wrestling his last match, turning on his manager Bobby Heenan and riding alone in those little wrestling ring carts that almost all the superstars had to ride into to get to the ring because the walkway was very long. We'll just get right to the moments. I mean, even Roddy Piper, as I should point out, just kind of a funny moment. Roddy Piper taking on Bad News Brown, wrestling with half his body, I think this side painted black, and the other side painted white. Kind of noteworthy. Squash match of the night, an honorary feature given to the Bolsheviks and the Hart Foundation. The Hart Foundation destroying the Bolsheviks as Nikolai Volkov tried singing the Russian national anthem in Canada, and the Harts winning, and Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart defeating the Bolsheviks in 13 seconds. Before then, my number 3 moment, for comedy purposes, Steve Allen, former host of The Tonight Show way back when, in the speed stick room, as he calls it, trying to sing the Russian national anthem with piano accompaniment. And obviously a lesson in toilet humor here, but Steve Allen tried to make it funny, as he usually would. Number 2 moment at this WrestleMania, the concert of Rhythm and Blues. A bunch of musical related, number 3 and number 2. Rhythm and Blues, Honky Tonk Man, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Diamond Dallas Page also a part of this WrestleMania, driving the pink Cadillac down to the ring for Rhythm and Blues' concert. Yeah, pretty much an ugly singing effort by one Honky Tonk Man. The Honkettes were not that bad. just rather entertainingly bad. I can't say much else. The Bushwhackers end up spoiling it, but just really funny. And I watched that. I've seen that the concert a few times, especially the night when Powerhouse Wrestling, the former company, independent league in Illinois, had Honky Tonk Man Wrestling at Lincoln College, just a couple blocks away. Pretty interesting night, and I remember just watching this, the Rhythm and Blues concert before. Got to see Honky wrestle in front of about 50 people, so it was a very nice memory to me. And favorite match, and probably Hulk Hogan's best effort, best wrestled match, in my estimation, of his the main events that he wrestled, the first 7 or 8 WrestleManias the first 9 that he took a part of. I think this was his best match out of the cluster of matches that he was in. It was title for title. It was the Ultimate Challenge. Hulk Hogan, the WWE champ still, after WrestleMania V. It's been a year almost. Taking on the Intercontinental Champion, the Ultimate Warrior. He had won it at SummerSlam. Those two squared off in the Royal Rumble match a couple months earlier. Helped each other out, and thus a tremendous hype and a tremendous match for both men. And I think there's not a lot of. I don't think Hulk Hogan is the master of technical wrestling, but the crowd was into it. When the crowd's into it, you have the feeling it is a very entertaining match. When they're into it in a good way, not when they're into it in a bad way, like they were with JBL and The Undertaker doing the wave years later. But this was pretty good. It was power for power, title for title, both men showing off their best move. The Ultimate Warrior getting away from the leg drop at the end and doing his big splash off the ropes and defeating Hulk Hogan for not only to retain the Intercontinental Championship, but to become WWE Champion. And what would be a passing of the torch, and as I said earlier, Jesse Ventura saying, I do believe Hulkamania will live forever. And the promos beforehand, I can't be specific about both of them, but they were both very good promos cut by both men before this match. There was a lot of hype, there was a lot of excitement going into this match. And of course, Edge, who showed up as a Hulk Hogan fan, really, I'm sure he was rocking too, as well as the 67,000 people that attended WrestleMania 6 in the Skydome. Wouldn't be the last time WrestleMania would be in this particular venue. It wouldn't be the last classic match that Hulk Hogan would have in the same venue, in this same event. But Hulk Hogan giving his due to Ultimate Warrior, and the Warrior would start a new era, very short era, as WWE Champion for himself, but it would turn the tide and start the 90s off with a bang. And a lot of great WrestleMania moments to come this decade, and a lot we'll talk about in the next 10 days. Tomorrow, on Sunday, end of the week, we'll talk about WrestleMania 7. Back in the States, at the thick of the Persian Gulf War, originally to be held at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. 100,000 people. Could have been a record for WrestleMania. But subdued to the sports arena. And we'll talk about WrestleMania 7 and Hulk Hogan's involvement, and also one of the most emotional moments in WWE history. And another great moment involving Macho Man Randy Savage, who's had some surprising matches of the year and some good moments so far, actually, at WrestleMania. I'm kind of surprised by it. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. And Skinner Monster saying have a good Saturday, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you tomorrow as the moments that define WrestleMania continue.